Hello, I'm Edward Salt. Welcome to South Today. In tonight's programme, already consigned to history, the multi-million-pound scheme for a Jurassic theme park is shelved. Plans for more homes and a big new store next to the A27. What does it mean for one of the South's most congested roads? And the path to recovery for former soldiers like Sean and how they're tackling a condition that can be destructive.
Right now, I'll probably be at home, drinking, locking myself away. So for this is a brilliant, brilliant opportunity.
It was billed as one of the most ambitious schemes to be developed in the South, but the £80 million plan to turn a Dorset quarry into a dinosaur attraction has now been shelved. The Jurassic Museum on Portland would have seen robotic marine life swimming in giant aquariums. The scheme is now merging with a biodiversity project to create a new attraction called The Journey. Bryony Leyland has our top story tonight.
Jurassica aimed to bring to life a lost world. The £80 million plan was for animatronic Jurassic sea creatures to swim in giant aquariums in a disused glass roof quarry. The project had the backing of Sir David Attenborough.
It will illustrate the time when real-life dragons flew through the air and monsters like this surged through the seas.
Jurassica was the vision of science writer Mike Hanlon. After he died suddenly last year, his team hoped to carry on. But without the funding in place, they've now decided to change tack, joining forces with another Portland project, Memo. It had wanted to raise £30 million to build a visitor attraction about biodiversity in a giant spiral fossil. Together, they now want to create a much cheaper, scaled-down scheme. The new £16 million attraction called The Journey would take shape here, deep underground. When the Portland stone has been mined, vast tunnels are left behind.
The mines are made by the sale of the stone. That's not something we have to build or to raise the money to build. And therefore the dynamic of the whole thing is completely different.
The Journey is receiving practical support from the Eden Project. Its involvement has given others confidence, including Weymouth and Portland Borough Council, who've contributed £50,000 to initial costs.
The great boost to Portland would be to add at least 150 permanent full-time jobs and to bring, I think, at their latest estimates, something like 350,000 tourists a year in the first 2 or 3 years. That would be a great boost to the local community and the economy.
Dorset already has a Heritage Lottery-funded Jurassic Museum. The Etches collection in Kimmeridge opened last year. But the team involved in The Journey believe they have a unique vision to share and a perfect stage to present it on.
Bryony Leyland ending that report. Earlier I spoke to Alison Smith from Jurassica and I asked her why her team's original vision had changed.
What's happened as a result of a new partnership between the Eden Project and the Memo Project, with the injection of funds from the Dorset Local Enterprise Partnership and the availability of a new site, the previous discussions we've had about joining these two projects together has become something that can be a reality now.
Jurassica was going to be a mammoth project, wasn't it? £80 million. At the end of the day, was it just simply too ambitious?
No, I don't think so. There's more than one way to deliver the scheme that you first envisaged, and what's important to remember about Jurassica is what it does. It's a celebration of the Jurassic coast. It's bringing to life the story of survival, extinction and biodiversity that's trapped in the rocks and recorded there, and of its scientific heritage. And we can do that in just as an exciting way. The underground spaces in the Albion stone mines that we're going to be developing the exhibit in are incredible. We're going to bring together some of the best storytelling, some of the best tech, some of the best immersive environments, and of course we've got a core fossil collection. So it's going to be just as spectacular. The price tag perhaps is the wrong way to look at this.
Many people in Dorset, Alison, watching this evening will be disappointed. What would you say to them, the people who say that this is a scaling back?
It's absolutely not a scaling back, so I'm delighted to be working with a new team. I think it's wait and see. We are incredibly excited about it, and we firmly believe that everybody else is going to be too, and that's very much the initial feedback we've had from our stakeholders, from our funders and from our supporters.
Where do we go from now then? Is it realistic? When will we see it open?
So there's a planning permission due to be submitted next year, and the first phase will be open in 2020.
Alison Smith speaking to me earlier. In other news tonight, a Berkshire